What fact do you like to tell people? Because 99% of the time that person will be surprised by it. Russia is bigger than Pluto. Russia is about 17.100.000 kilometers and Pluto is about 16.650.000 kilometers. So what you are saying is if Pluto is planet, Russia is one as well. Lobsters don't really die of old age. Either we catch and cook them, or they get so large they can't get enough food and starve, or they can't get enough food to have the energy to molt, and they suffocate in a shell that's too small. So the question is, if someone kept a lobster and didn't eat it, and regularly fed it, how long would it live? As long as a human did, unless their kid took it, and then it would probably live longer than the human. I married a Nuok. Seriously, my husband played a Nuok in Star Wars. People think I'm being snarky when I say it, until I explain he's a 4'2" dwarf who did the Ewok stunts. By the way, 4'2" was the height limit for Ewoks simply because that was the height of the stunt Ewok, my husband. Coolest thing I've read. There are only 25 operational blimps in the world. I see a blimp every now and then. So I was surprised to know how few there are. At one point in the early 2000s, Trinidad and Tobago had the highest blimp per capita ratio in the world. The state of Maryland, where I live, has no natural lakes. Every single lake here was man-made. Finally, a fact that I'm actually genuinely really surprised by. Rick James once kidnapped and tortured a woman over a drug dispute. He was charged for it, and ended up doing about 2 weeks in jail, I believe. David Bowie once purposefully ran his car into the car of a drug dealer whom he believed had ripped him off. Then he made a song about it. I love Major Tom. Gorillas have pubic hair. It is red, but will turn to a shade of black if held in captivity. How do you hold pubic hair in captivity? Take my damn up vote, Dad. A group of penguins is called a waddle. A group of rhinos is called a crash. A group of my friends is called a drunk. That the skin of your cheek on the inside of your mouth is the same exact type of skin as the inside of a vagina. The reason I like telling people this is because it's usually responded with them immediately running their tongue against the inside of their cheek. I just did. High School Musical supporting actor Corbin Bleu is the person with the third most translated Wikipedia article of all time, under only Jesus and Barack Obama. Apparently. Link in description. This is because of one super fan in Saudi Arabia, who took it upon themselves to create a Corbin Bleu article in every language. I respect their hustle. That's pretty awesome. My turtle, Tammy, is 25 years old, and she's been with me since I was 8. Some people have a half-year age plus 7 rule for appropriate dating ages. Mine has just got to be older than Tammy for the last few years. My turtle, Tammy, is 25 years old, and she's been with me since I was 8. Some people have a half-year age plus 7 rule for appropriate dating ages. Thank God that didn't go where I thought that was going. I thought you were going to fuck the turtle. And that the guy about to fuck the turtle is concerned if the age difference will make things weird. Camels like to eat banana peels, and they roll around in the sand like cats. There is less time between living Treks, 65 to 85 million years ago and now than there is between living Treks, 65 to 85 million years ago and living Stegosaurus, 155-160 million years ago. The other one that gets me is that, if everyone on Earth died right now, you would probably get 1 or 2 sets of fossilized bones. How many dinosaur bones have we dug up? How many millions of generations of dinosaurs existed? Blows my mind. There are people who jerk off boars for a living. Their orgasm lasts for 20 minutes, giving out 1 liter of sperm, which can be sold for like 300 euros. Who wants boar sperm? They're a fucking menace. To fertilize the females, and carry on the good genes for laser consumption. Till lasers are made from boar sperm. I thought they tasted familiar. About 60% of the Canadian population lives south of Seattle, Washington. We warn people who live here about our harsh winters. They assume we are talking about the rain. But they all say, I love the rain and the temperature looks nice. We don't get much snow, but it's the lack of light that gets to people. Daylight is relatively short, the intensity of light is low, and then add a nearly constant cloud layer, The autonomic nervous systems of a lot of transplants really struggle with it. I'm from Michigan, where most Americans think Canadians come from, and I can confirm that the lack of light is some bullshit. We get an average of 150 days of sunlight here. I discovered that I have severe seasonal depression by going to Arizona in January and nearly bursting into tears of relief from the sun and warmth when I got off the plane. It's like I can feel the vitamin D being made. Suicide Squad has won more Academy Awards than The Shawshank Redemption. This does not put a smile on my face. Cleopatra's reign in Egypt was closer in time to the Apollo moon landings than it was to the building of the Great Pyramids. Cleopatra wasn't even Egyptian. She was Macedonian, and she was on the throne because few hundred years before Alexander the Great happened. Every time you shuffle a deck of cards, you probably end with a sequence of cards that never has been before. You didn't see me shuffle. Everybody gets other cards in numerical order as well as in the same color. Canada is the first country south of Detroit, Michigan. Greenland extends farther north, south, east, and west of Iceland. America's most northern, eastern, and western points are all in Alaska. America's most northern, eastern. How can that one be true if the continent is east of it? Alaska's Aleutian Islands extend into the eastern hemisphere. That's how it has the easternmost and westernmost points in the US. Lobsters almost have the same neurological network as humans. So when a lobster fights another lobster and loses its serotonin levels will decrease, which mean we can give it antidepressants and it'll cheer up and go fight again. So, a lobster on Ma would be interesting. Polar bear fur is actually transparent. Then why can I see them? Answer that, Mr. Science Man. I hope you're joking, but if you aren't, here's a short explanation. The fur being transparent gives that bright white color because of the sunbeams being redirected and reflected into the human eye. It's the same like snow. Water is transparent, but a snow looks white. I was joking, but I never really thought about the specifics of why clear things appear white, so I guess I learned something anyway. A good analogy is crumpling up a clear plastic bag. Same effect. Gary Numan is actually 13 days older than Gary Oldman. That strawberry is not a berry, but a banana is. And vegetables don't exist scientifically. They're a culinary category, not a botanical category. Putting your car's key fob next to your head to extend the range of unlocking your car door. I first found this out from Jeremy Clarkson on Top Gear. A day on Venus is longer than a year on Venus. Harley Davidson was having a rough time of selling motorcycle and Japan was doing great in the 80s. In response, Harley released a new motorcycle. One of its original colors was gray with 7 yellow strips, similar to the 2 atomic bombs we dropped on Japan. The Fat Man and Little Boy. They called it the Fat Boy. That's really fucked up. About half the world stands up to wipe out the toilet. About half the world stays seated. But about 99% of people are shocked that the other group exists. I'm shocked that people that wipe standing up exist. As am I for the sitting lol. You guys wipe? That the Kellogg brothers were some FN weirdos. The older one would have his little brother examine his poop, even when they were like 20. Cornflakes were invented explicitly for the purpose of reducing masturbation. They'd sprinkle them on your bed sheets late at night, and if they heard a rustling when you were supposed to be asleep, they'd hit you with a whacking broom. Not a fact. Well, it's not like it's a lie. It's a fact of my family. My brother's brother is my cousin. My mum and my dad's brother. My uncle had a kid. My dad's brother had a kid with a different women. So my mum's son with my dad's brother is my brother. But my brother's younger brother is actually my cousin. We will give you a seat on the council, but we do not grant you the rank of Alabama 100. I appreciate it. The phrase hands down comes from horse racing, and refers to a jockey who is so far ahead that he can afford drop his hands and loosen the reins, usually kept tight to encourage a horse to run and still easily win. Source, link in description.